Good day, everybody. This is Matt Rocco again from the South Florida Manufacturers Association. As president, I welcome you to our pre-recorded safety tip or safety tips of the day. I want to welcome our presenter for this pre-recorded webinar with us today to the screen, if you want to call it, Marty Perrone. He is the chair of our safety committee. Marty Perrone has been leading this committee for quite some time, and we thank him for his dedication in doing this webinar for us. It's going to be another outstanding tidbit of knowledge that I think can apply to almost every organization. In his practice, Marty Perrone is the sales operation manager for Carpenter Electric. Carpenter Electric is a certified TEG representative for their electrical testing and inspection division. Actually, Marty is the certified TEG representative for Carpenter Electric's electrical and testing and inspection division. And again, he is the co-chair of our safety committee. For all of you safety-minded folks, if you are interested in joining or learning more about the safety committee, you can contact Marty directly. His email will be at the end of the presentation. At this time, I'm going to turn control or provide control to Marty Perrone. Marty, the time is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Matthew. This is very kind of you to do this, and I'm hoping that everybody who's out there that's enjoying this is able to get something important from it. We're going to start off by talking about, we've got a shutdown that's happening right now. Perhaps it's a way to put some of this downtime to good use. Since early March, as you know, manufacturing plants, industrial facilities, distribution centers, and other non-essential businesses across America have been using this unfortunate pandemic downtime to give their electrical distribution systems a little well-deserved and actually required love. According to the NFPA 70B, the recommended practices for electrical equipment and maintenance, code Annex K4F, which is low voltage equipment, anything under 600 volts. So if your facility is running 480 or below 277, whatever it is, it says that all the panel boards, the switchgear, distribution panels, etc., should be shut down every 3 to 6 years to conduct what they consider to be preventative maintenance. Now, this is a required practice, and it states that the equipment needs to be de-energized, the interior of the enclosures should be thoroughly cleaned and inspected, and the connections should be properly torqued to the manufacturer's specifications. Now, the reason behind this is simple. It makes sure that the equipment lasts longer and that it is running up to its optimum performance. So for the past 7 years now, I've been educating a variety of companies on these required codes and provide both predictive and proactive energized electrical services, along with de-energized preventative maintenance solutions. So I can tell you, I know firsthand that the majority of the business owners that I meet out there do not know what NFPA 70B requires or what 70E requires. And I can tell you, over the last 7 years that I've been with Carpenter Electric, I've probably been in over 500 different businesses throughout the southeastern Florida area. So why is this so important? Well, to educate those who own a business or a building. I mean, let's face it, if you own a building and you're leasing it to somebody, you're the building owner. But the person who is running the business in there, they're the business owner. And both of them have to pay attention to these codes because those are the ones who've been designated by the building owner that are responsible for the electrical maintenance of the building and of the building's electrical equipment. As I stated in NFPA 70E, Code Chapter 2 is called Safety-Related Maintenance Requirements, along with NFPA 70E Code 205.3, which is General Maintenance Requirements. Notice that the word is requirements, not options, not requests or recommendations. These are requirements. The code reads as follows. follows. General maintenance requirements, electrical equipment, they use the word shall, but shall means must be maintained in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions or the industry consensus standards to reduce the risk associated with failure. Why is that important? Because failure is when people get hurt, buildings go down. The equipment owner or the owner's designated representative must be responsible for the maintenance of the electrical equipment and the documentation. That documentation is extremely important. Why is it important? Well, if you're going to be protecting building owners and their employees from any kind of electrical hazards that are present in the building, because someone must be held accountable in the event of an accidental electrical arc flash, explosion, or in the case of an electrocution. The only way that OSHA will know if you've been doing the right thing to prevent such an accident from happening by requiring them to have the documentation provided the electrical equipment in their building is being properly maintained. As a certified TEG representative at Carpenter Electric, we do these required electrical maintenance solutions, and we provide an impressive documentation for our clients. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me and I'll get you a copy of this document. This, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is your electrical distribution system. Here is your power coming in from the FP&L. Here is a generator if you've chosen to have one. Notice that both of them come to this automatic transfer switch right here. And notice that they feed the switch gear, which then in turn feeds these over here would be buckets that would be a motor control center. So it feeds all your motors. It feeds other panels within the building. So if you took the time to have and said, we've made the decision that we can't afford a power outage, we're going to have a generator. So you've got a generator here. That means you know it's so important that your system doesn't go down. But what happens if something happens to one of the breakers? What happens if something happens to your automatic transfer switch? I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I know of a municipality here in Palm Beach County that had 3 new buildings, and each generator in all those buildings had enough power to power the entire building. And when the hurricane came through last year, none of the transfer switches worked. They had no power in those buildings, and the storm was raging, so they couldn't do anything about it until it was too late, until afterwards. And one of them was a fire station, and the other one was City Hall. So this electrical distribution system is important, and it needs to be properly maintained. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you learned something here. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me at my email address, martyp@carpenter-electric.com. Matthew, thank you so very much for this opportunity.
Marty, our pleasure, and thank you for doing this, the safety tip of the day. This is something the safety committee is wanting to do for our members, really short snippets of information that can really be beneficial. If there's anything in this presentation that you want to see further, or if you have questions on, please reach out to Marty. He has been a great resource to not only our association, but for our members for several years. And he is definitely somebody you want to get to know on a personal level and on a business level. So thank you, Marty. We appreciate it. And thank you for all who will be listening to this. Take care, everybody.